Donald Trump is panicking after Senate Republicans just stood up to him in a stunning rebuke, fresh off of yet another devastating jobs report showing that the economy is crumbling under his tariffs. Republican senators finally drew the line and shut down one of his most corrupt moves. After months of chaos, even his own party is starting to push back, and Trump did not see it coming. So stick around to see how Republicans just turned on him, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. So, as we all know, tariffs are here and Americans are finally starting to feel it. While Donald Trump brags about how much money his trade war is making, prices are starting to shoot up, like literally everyone said that they would. And even on American-produced goods, the effects of cutting off trade ties is really starting to hit. And surprisingly, Fox News is done pretending that it isn't.
Kelly, beef prices are higher. I got that. How much more are we actually paying?
Yeah, you're really going to be treating yourself at the grocery store, Stu. Take a look at this. For ground beef, prices are up about 14% year over year, or I should say 13%, I believe. Roast, 14%, steaks, 17%.
And while many Americans are starting to feel the pain of Trump's agenda at the grocery store, a whole lot more are about to start to feel it at work. Because on Tuesday night at midnight, the country went into its first government shutdown since the last time Donald Trump was president. And without an operating federal government, the jobs of many Americans in hospitals, schools, or even just businesses with government contracts could be in jeopardy. But you're kidding yourself if you think that's all, because the Trump administration is openly bragging that they want to use this shutdown as a chance to massively ramp up their firings of federal workers. At a time when the economy is already shaky, Trump's economic advisors want to send potentially thousands more people into unemployment, just as an attack against Democrats.
And again, to be clear, what Russ is saying is that it's a circular that instructs the cabinet secretaries to assess how they best want to respond to the government shutdown, and reminding them of the legal truth that if money is not appropriated for a position, then they then have the authority to eliminate the position. Of course, it's very intuitive, and that's an enormous amount of leverage over the Democrats.
The Trump administration says that if there isn't money to pay people when the government shuts down, they will have to go. Now, in a normal shutdown, these people would just go on leave until the government reopens, but this time, Donald Trump wants to just fire everyone permanently. And while firing potentially tens of thousands of people wouldn't help the economic problems that we're seeing, it might help distract from them. And I gotta say, today of all days, Trump definitely wants a distraction, because we just got a jobs report from the month of September, and it is even more explosive than the terrible one in August. You see, in August, the summer job numbers were revised down below zero, but this month, we don't even have to revise them for them to be negative, because the September jobs number just came in at a shocking negative 32,000.
So breaking moments ago, private sector employment declined pretty sharply last month. And as Matt Egan noted earlier, this could be the only major monthly report on hiring that we get this week, since the September jobs report is expected to be delayed because of the government shutdown. The aforementioned Matt Egan is here with us now. So what do we learn in this report?
Yeah, well, Kate, this is more evidence of a slumping job market, right? ADP said that private sector payrolls fell by 32,000 jobs during the month of September.
There's a bunch of zeros you can't see.
There's a bunch of, there's about 3 zeros that we can't see.
We used invisible ink.
Yeah,
don't worry.
But look, this is a surprise, because the forecast was for a gain of more than 50,000 jobs. And this was a double whammy of bad news, because ADP also revised lower the prior month of August to reflect a loss of 3,000 jobs. So that means that 3 out of the past 4 months, the private sector, according to ADP, has lost jobs. So where are the job losses? Well, surprisingly, one of the categories that's leading the way down is leisure and hospitality. That's bars, that's restaurants, hotels. That's something to keep an eye on, right? Because if consumers are cutting back, that's where they'd be cutting back first. Also, construction, losing 5,000 jobs. We know that construction has been very much exposed to high interest rates, to the housing slump, to the immigration crackdown. Manufacturing down by 2,000 jobs as well. That's ironic, because the Trump administration has these high tariffs. They're trying to prop up manufacturing. But manufacturers, when you talk to them, they say there's so much uncertainty over those tariffs that a lot of them are pulling back right now, and they're actually cutting jobs.
Now, it's important to note that these numbers actually came from a nonpartisan group who has helped predict the previous job numbers. This company, ADP, has accurately predicted job growth alongside the federal government each month, but in September, we only have the ADP's numbers to go off of. And this is because the Trump administration doesn't even have their own jobs report. They said that this job report will be delayed because of the government shutdown, but they should have been working on this for the entire month of September. So this whole thing to me is really just a major red flag. They either don't know how to analyze the economy, or they are trying not to because it's looking so bad. And I'm not the only one thinking this, because in a shocking press conference today, Caroline Leavitt announced that Donald Trump will be rescinding his nomination of a new labor statistics head, the person in charge of making the jobs report and advising on the economy. Donald Trump fired the last head and tried to replace them with one of the authors of Project 2025, named E.J. Antony. But just today, Caroline Leavitt announced that the Republican senators told Donald Trump that they won't vote for this political appointment and that he would have to find someone actually qualified for the job.
Reagan.
I have one for you on E.J. Antony and one on the shutdown.
Sure.
CNN reported that Collins and Murkowski declined to meet with E.J. Antony, raising concerns that his nomination was in trouble. I'm wondering what message Collins and Murkowski are sending to the White House by not meeting with one of the president's nominees.
Well, look, E.J. Antony remains a great ally of the president and our team. It became clear, unfortunately, that he was not going to have the votes, and so we will be announcing a replacement nominee very soon.
Now, it's important to note that Republicans in the Senate voted to confirm insane people like Kash Patel and even RFK Jr., so the fact that they would stand up now shows that Donald Trump may have burnt through all of his support in Congress. And what I find even more interesting is that Caroline Leavitt said that Republican Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski were going to vote against the Trump labor nomination. But here's the thing, if both of these senators voted no, Republicans would still have enough votes to secure this new pick. So that must mean that there were other Republicans who were threatening to turn on Trump, and he may have just cut back on this nomination before they could even speak out against him. Donald Trump has been ruining the economy and destroying the federal government for months now, and after failing to avoid a government shutdown, it sounds like some Republicans have finally had enough. And now I'm curious to know who else in the Senate might be tired of Donald Trump and his insane cabinet. So let me know your thoughts on Congress finally stopping this insane Trump nomination, and as always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more.